Hey guys, welcome to My Sew Bliss. Today I'm excited to be partnering with Baby Lock Sewing Machines and bringing you another sewing tutorial. Today I'm going to share with you how to make your own ironing board cover. I have this really old ironing board. I think I've had it for about 10 years. And this ironing board cover is the one that came with it, and it's just old and dingy and it needs to be replaced. So I'm super excited to show you how to do that today. So the supplies that you're going to need are, first you're going to need your sewing machine. I'm going to be using my Baby Lock Brilliant. This is my favorite everyday sewing machine that I use for all my homemade projects, clothes that I make for myself, for my kids, anything I'm working on really. Any tutorial I'm doing, I'm going to be using a lot of the time, mainly the Baby Lock Brilliant. This is a great intermediate machine for anyone who's sewing or really wants to get into sewing. So I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link down below where you can check it out, and hopefully I can show you some cool things that this machine can do. And if you follow along and subscribe to my channel, you'll see a lot of that machine and a few other Baby Lock products on my machine. So I hope you will join me and follow along. Now, other than your sewing machine, you're also going to need some fabric. I have 2 yards of just this cotton, 100% cotton fabric. I love this. It's so fun and bright, and I love how it's going to add a fun pop to my sewing room once I change it out, because usually I have my ironing board right here where I can just reach it at all times. So this is perfect. So I have this. I also have my ironing board and its cover. And then I'm going to be using elastic. If you want to use a drawstring, you can also do that as well. It's going to need to be a couple yards long, probably about 4 to 5 yards long. And then a safety pin so that we can thread it through our casing. So other than that, you're just going to need your basic sewing supplies. So let's get started. So here I have my fabric laying right sides face down on my table, and then I just put my ironing board on top of it. And now I'm just going to take my scissors, and if you would feel more comfortable, you could use a marking tool and just mark where you're going to cut first and then cut it. I'm just going to go straight for the scissors, so this project is really quick and easy. And I'm just going to be cutting about 5 inches out from the edge of the ironing board, because that'll give us enough room for it to curl under and cinch together to go all the way around and give it that nice tight fit. So I'll just start right up here. And again, I'm just kind of like estimating it. I'm not doing it perfectly, because when we cinch it, it will kind of do it itself, make it fit perfect. Now again, I just did one piece, one layer, because that's all we're going to need. So I have this iron board shaped piece now, and now we're going to start creating the casing. And I don't want to just fold this over, or my edges would end up fraying if I washed it, or just from the friction of the cording. So instead, I'm going to turn my edge under 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to do that all the way around. And I'm just going to take my pins and pin that in place like every couple inches. And I wanted to show you, when you get to this corner, there's the corner at the top and at the bottom, and it's this tight curve, it's going to start kind of bunching up right here. And that's okay. We actually want it to do that so that it's going to lay nicely. We're not too worried about the underside and how that's going to look, because it's going to be under the iron. So you don't really need to worry about how under the iron is going to be looking as much. Once I have it pinned, and if it's too complicated, you actually don't even have to pin it. You could just fold it as you sew it. But sometimes it's nice, especially around this corner, to have it pinned at least a little bit before you get started. So now I'm just going to come over here, and I'm just going to sew along my edge, that 1/4 inch edge that we just did, and I'm just going to sew that edge down. So I'm about 1/4 inch, a little less than 1/4 inch in, or 1/4 inch in from the edge. is what I should say. So I'm just gonna sew all the way around it. And again, like I said, this is just the beginning of the casing. And here, as I get to this corner, like I said before, it's kind of gonna have some tucks, and that is just fine. Go. And we'll just keep going around and go nice and slow so we make sure it's laying the way we want it to. Once I get to the end, one thing that I also really like about this machine is when you hit the scissor button, it just cuts your threads for you and lifts the needle, and then you're all done. I just have the strands from starting, and it looks really good. So I didn't think I would need that in the machine, but I have come to really, really love it. Once I have that one edge folded over and sewn, now I'm gonna do that same thing, but a little bit bigger again. So I'm gonna do it about 1/2 inch, and I'm gonna create that casing for either the elastic or the cording or whatever you're using, drawstring, to tighten it. I'm going to create that casing for it to go through. So I'm doing the exact same thing, just with about 1/2 inch opening. And then I'll take it over to my sewing machine and I'll show you how I'll stitch that one down. Once you've got it pinned, next we're gonna come over to our sewing machine, and we're pretty much doing the exact same thing that we did before. This time you wanna make sure you stay really close to this edge, so that way you're leaving enough room for that casing to go through. And then at the end, we're actually gonna leave about a 2-inch opening. So I'll start here and then finish back here somewhere. So that way we can thread it through later on. So I'm gonna start, and I'm actually going to backstitch as well, and that'll just create a really strong hold so that my elastic will hold in place nicely. And then again, I'll just sew all the way around. And like I said earlier, when you go around these corners, it kind of has to overlap a little bit. So I just pinned it that way and messed with it, and I'll keep messing with it while I sew. But just remember that's going to be underneath your ironing board. So that part is not going to be seen unless someone is laying on the ground looking up at your ironing board. So don't worry too much about how that's going to look. Here I am a couple inches from where I started, and I'm just going to backstitch, make sure that's really secure in place, and then I will press the scissor button and it will cut my threads for me, and it is done. So now we'll just go over to the table and I'll show you what we're going to do next. With our casing complete, I am then going to take our safety pin, and I'm just going to take it and put it right through my elastic, the end of it. And then I can start threading it through the casing that we just made. And I just leave it attached to the spool that I have of elastic, because I'm not quite sure until I get it on my ironing board how much I'm actually going to need. So this just makes it a little bit easier. So I just like to push and pull. And once I get started, I kind of get into a rhythm. The corners might be a little trickier, but once you can maneuver that safety pin through, it's smooth sailing. So I'm going to do that and go all the way back to this point. Once you have your elastic or your drawstring or your cording threaded through, then you're going to place it on your ironing board. And I still have mine attached to my spool of elastic, just in case I either have too much or too little. I can adjust it once I get to that point. So now I'm just going to set it on there, and I do have the mat that was underneath the original ironing board on here. Hopefully it doesn't make it too tricky to put on, but if it does, I'll just take it off. So if you want to adjust it first and then put it on, you can, but hopefully we can just slide it right on. It looks like it's gonna fit good. This part up here, it looks like I might have done it a little small. It's gonna fit still, but it probably could have gone a couple more inches on the sides. So it looks great, but from the underside, it's just hanging on a little tight down there. So, and then I'll probably tighten it up. So I'm just gonna take my pieces of elastic, and the one that the end that is still attached, I mean, I guess they're both still attached to everything, but the end that is coming out attached to my spool, I'm going to pull that so that it tightens it as much as possible on my ironing board, so that way it's not shifting. That's one thing I hated about the original one. I felt like it just was shifty and not staying on very well. So I'd really like for this one to be a little more secure. That's what we're going for. So once you have it to a point that you like, you can either tie the ends together, or what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my safety pin, and I don't need my safety pin, so I'm just going to pin it to both ends. Make sure it goes through both. Let's see. It's a little tricky when I'm trying to hold it in place. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pin that and just let that, and then I can let it go once I have both ends pinned. And I will just take my scissors and cut that end off from my spool. And it is complete. It actually needs a little ironing right here, which is kind of ironic, but I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. I think it's going to be a great addition to my sewing room. Probably just gonna, I'll just keep it right here. I have a kind of a tight space, so I just keep it right here, and then I can sew either here or over here, and then iron over here. So I love it. It's gonna make me so happy every time I see it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out Baby Lock sewing machines. I'll leave links down below for this Baby Lock Brilliant that I used, and also the other ones that I have in my sewing room. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more tips and tricks in my everyday sewing life, you can check me out on Instagram at My Sew Bliss, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!